Thank you very much for joining us. Now, day 2 of the bail application for 7 people accused of murdering Sifiso, Thwala and Musa, Nene has wrapped up. Yesterday, the court heard how they were brutally assaulted before they died. 3 of the accused are also allegedly involved in the Xhoga siblings' murder. eNCA senior reporter Spamandla Goke is following the court proceedings for us. Joining us now live from inside court, Mkhondo. Spamandla, what happened in court today?
It was an emotional day. So today we saw the investigating officer Warrant Nklapo continuing with his evidence in chief here, where basically he was recalling and telling the court how the 2 deceased, that is Mr. Sifiso Thwala as well as Mr. Musa Nene, they were brutally tortured and how they eventually lost their lives. So this case dates back to August 9, 2020. The state alleges that the 2 who passed away were traveling and then they had a tire puncture, and while they were busy trying to fix that, they were approached by a group of farmers with their farm workers who then accused them of stock theft. They accused them of stealing sheep, and then that's when they were kidnapped, they were tortured, and there were 3 at that time. Only 2 passed away, 1 survived. So Warrant Officer Nklapo telling the court today that even it's alleged that those who were torturing them, they used pliers, and how they were assaulted on their private parts and how they were choked with some machine that is used to choke animals, which is known as the teaser. So basically, it was the continuation of that evidence here today, which led to the investigating officer himself breaking down. The court had to adjourn for a couple of minutes to allow him time, because as he was recalling and recounting that episode, he broke down and he cried, and he said it reminded him of his youthful days when they used to be tortured. And we also saw family members of the late Mr. Thwala here crying, and one of those who was inside court is the sister of the late Mr. Sifiso Thwala, Usis Unomalanga Thwala. She joins us now. Sisi, thank you very much for your time. A very emotional day for you today in court. Those details that were emerging here, have you ever heard of how your brothers were tortured before one of them passed away?
I heard partly, but not to this extent. What I heard today was very, very heartbreaking. The extent of assault that they went through, almost like the whole night. They were assaulted for the whole night, especially the part where they said they pulled their private parts with pliers, and also the part where they put one of their foot on a stone, and then they took another stone and hit on the foot whilst it was on another stone. So, and also the what do you call it? The taser that they used. It's a taser that is used for stubborn cows when you're loading them. So I was shocked that it was used on a human being. Also, the way that it was used, it was put on their ears, also on their chest. You can see the intent for these people. It was to kill them. Because why would you use a taser on a human heart, also on the ears? So it was very, very heartbreaking, but we had to, try and bear with it.
In this ordeal, 2 of your brothers were involved. One of them passed away, condolences, but another one survived, and we understand that he had to flee Mkhondo as a whole. How is he doing?
Well, he is trying, although it's very difficult for him because he has no source of income. He had to run away. At this moment, I cannot disclose where he is for his safety, of course. So he lost his source of income. He's just sitting somewhere hoping that justice will prevail someday and he can maybe hopefully go back to a normal life and get a job somewhere.
All 8 accused are applying for bail will come back here next week on the 10th and the 11th of June. Are you opposed to them being granted bail?
Well, as community, because we live with these people, we saw them even before they came to court, before they were arrested. They were still harassing us, talking, in the community to say that nothing will be done to them. They've been doing this, and who are we that we will get justice? Nothing's going to happen. So finally, now they've been apprehended, and we hope that they will get sentenced. When we don't want them to get bail.
Okay, thank you very much for time. That is Sifiso Thwala. She is the sister of the late Mr. Sifiso Thwala, who, according to the warrant officer here in eNCA, who was testifying, was brutally assaulted before he passed away, together with Mr. Musa Nene. So this case is interlinked with those of the Coga siblings. I'm talking about Mr. Mgcini Coga and Zenzele Coga, who passed away also, because 3 of the accused persons in this matter are also charged in that murder case. So today we heard how those 2 people who died, they were accused of stealing sheep and how they were tortured. But on Thursday and Friday, when we come back here next week, we will continue with the cross-examination by the defense lawyers of the accused persons.
Okay, thank you very much. It's Pamandla Goke there from inside the courtroom condo in this particular case. It's linked to the Koga murder brothers case as well.